And hello, everyone who has taken the time out of their day to join us, Views from the Dungeon. I am your DM, Aaron Raphael Amin, and we have our wonderful party here, and I think we're going to get into a really great game today. But before we get started, I'd like to start this stream with a subject I'm sure is weighing heavy on all our minds these past few days. February 24th, 2022 was a day that will live on in infamy as millions of Ukrainians were forced to evacuate their homes or take up arms as Russia invaded their homeland. I'd just like to say that war is not a game. No one wins in war. People are dying overseas, sacrificing their lives to protect the place many of them know as home. So to just kind of express our respect and concern for the situation, we've attached a command in our chat to !Ukraine for those who'd like to donate and support Ukraine while Putin attempts to lie, cheat, and force them out of their independence. And before we get started, I'd simply like to ask you all to join us in a moment of silence so as to pay our respects to these people up in Ukraine. All right. And on a brighter note, things are going pretty well over here. Thank you guys for all following us and supporting us. And even though, there's all kinds of history happening around us right now, and I know some of you guys are spending your weekend playing Elden Ring, you lucky cats. So we appreciate anyone who's taking the time to view us right now or just simply having us on the background and supporting us as we make our way to Twitch affiliate. We are so close to hitting that follower count. Please tell your friends about us. Anyone who's interested in D&D, if it comes up in passing conversation and we reach your mind, hopefully you can bring us up so we can reach theirs. And some good news here. We're really going to be trying video here soon. We have cameras all set up. We have one on the map. We have some on our players. We have our beautiful, beautiful friend out in LA who's also on the visual. And we're just going to do our best with that and, try to treat you guys to a visual experience as well as audio. But be aware, technical difficulties have happened in the past, so if we do need to switch back to an all audio format just to make sure that the stream is going smooth, simply be prepared for that. And I think now we'll go ahead and we're going to go ahead and get started and have our very own Kane go ahead and give us a small recap of last time's session.
Right. So last time, after making some deals with Marco to help him with the Raskovan, we were supposed to meet him in Firestone Grove. But instead, we took our dead orc friend and headed on over to the Fort Stanton so we could spy on the Raskovan a little instead. While we was making camp, the orc came back to life. He almost struck me down. But he was dealt with pretty swiftly. We burned the body. After that, we made our way over to the fort, did some investigating, saw that they had quite the number of Raskovan there. Too many for us to fight ourselves, and they had some trebuchet. Possible problem there. We made a plan to wait for the Raskovan to come out and maybe take some action against Orrin for us killing their friends. We spied a group of 4 Raskovan moving out. We followed them a bit and then made the plan to jump them, killing 3 of them and tying one up. We tried to convince him to go back and deliver the message that it wasn't any of us, it was just the knights who killed him, and we had almost gotten him through. Until some other things were said in the party, and he's convinced now that it was us, a Roman group of mercs, just in it for the gold. So he's gone back, probably to tell Simbo that he wants to kill all of us. And now we've made the plan to go and hopefully convince the followers of Tuhanu to ally themselves with Orrin. We can all fight the Raskavan together.
And we'll pick up at the end of the night where our fellow party members, after said ambush had taken place, are getting ready to camp before they go on the next morning's excursion. After a bout of exhaustion, we can tell that our characters feel a lot more powerful and a lot more sure of themselves, a lot more stronger than they were before. Some might say that they would be level 2 now. And they sit around the campfire as they discuss the plans for the future.
So, these Tuhanu folks, how well do you know them? Do you think they're gonna help us?
I just have a feeling that they might. I don't know them at all, but I have my reasons.
Okay. What about you two? How you feeling?
I feel like...
Well...
Oh, you go ahead.
No, please.
I feel like if... whether we get along with them now or not, we're going to need some help.
Absolutely.
It didn't sit well with me if we just leave Orrin, so I think this is one of the only plans we've got.
Right.
And this is partially, maybe a little my fault.
Little.
So I appreciate any of the support.
Okay then.
But we don't want to die either, so...
Nobody wants to die. Well, maybe some people do.
Well, I won't be dying, so that's out of the question.
I like your confidence.
Good plan. Let's go with that.
And
But I'm tired.
Same.
so, with the onset of exhaustion and those of you getting tired for the night, who would like to take first watch?
I'll go first.
Okay, along with.
I'll take first watch as well.
All right. And Narissa, Ersid, you guys will take care of watch number 2.
Sure.
Okay, so let's begin. As the first watch, small embers are still going in the campfire, just enough for you guys to stay a little warm and keep a sight on the dark green light of the moon as it shines over the Badlands themselves. Feel free to start your first watch.
So, we were working pretty well together.
I think so, yes.
We had that fellow right convinced.
Yes, I think that we'll want to do something similar to that once we get to the 200.
I agree. I think that if you and me take point in this conversation to hopefully get these folks to join on, I think we have a real shot at it.
I think so. On that note, how do you like our odds?
I don't.
Yes, I suppose we haven't seen what the 200 will have to offer, but...
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of them before, and I suppose churches around here do have quite the power, but there's only one that I really know of that is super powerful, and it's not Tuhanu.
Beggars and choosers.
Yeah. I'm both of those.
And if not, real quick, how many Raskavan did the guy we interrogated say there were?
I don't believe he gave you a solid number.
He said, I remember him saying something like 10-ish. Yeah, you're right, he didn't give a solid number, but he gave like a rough.
So you guys had one preliminary search where Udin specifically noticed anywhere above 10 members. And then when Narissa and Ersid scoped out from the cliff tops, they saw anywhere between 15 and 20.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just remember the guy we interrogated giving a different number.
Okay.
But yes, I don't. I mean, I'm feeling stronger. I'm feeling better, but maybe not 5 people by myself better.
Right. I've never been one to do things like this. You know, I've worked plenty of jobs before, but always more of the stealthy, get in, get out type. I've never really been muscle, so
Right.
how I feel about it is not good, but we've got some strong people, and hopefully bringing allies in will help.
Well, in any case, the Raskavan that we let go will have made it back to them by now. I imagine within the day, they'll have made their way back to Orrin. So we'll need to be back quickly to address the situation, one way or another.
Yeah, that's true.
Can I have you both make perception checks, please?
Perception. Ooh, that's pretty good. 18.
18.
16.
16. As you guys look off into the deep night of the Badlands, you can see near the edges of the rocky crags that you find yourself camping in between, passed out deeper towards as far as your vision can go in this dreary night. You see the shambling of bodies that you assume to be dead that were forgot to be burned. Not coming any closer, just cruising their way, lost souls as they spread through this demented and decaying land.
About how far would you say?
At the very edge of your vision, so you're like 100 feet, and the only reason you guys are making them out is because you are looking pretty hard.
Okay.
Well, I suggest that we keep it down, as to not attract any of those fellows over here.
Worst case scenario, I'm pretty sure we could. We wake up Ersid, and he and I could probably pick them off before they even get to us, but
That's true.
let's not pick any fights. We don't have to.
Well, I'll throw
Any
a rock
more
at his head,
fights.
if it so comes to it. Well, I think I'm gonna just sit, polish my violin. If you need anything, you let me know.
I'll be sure to.
And he just kind of starts messing with the embers just with his mage hand.
Okay. And night goes on, uneventful. You find your way to sleep as you wake up the others for watch number 2. Narissa and Ersid, go ahead.
I pace around the campsite, just around everybody. That's how I keep my eyes out.
Okay, can both of you roll perception, please?
Am I unencumbered by exhaustion finally?
No,
No.
you haven't slept.
I did sleep a little bit.
Only half. You need the whole sleep.
Only half. I need the whole sleep. Okay. 17.
2.
Woof.
Fuck.
Narissa, you're just constantly, you're in your head. You're worried. What's going on here? Are these people safe? Are you safe? Where's your energy going? How can you make sure that everything in this situation turns out to your liking? And that is occupying the most space in your mind. Ersid, with that role, I think you're feeling a little more collected, a little more focused in this situation. And as your thoughts turn to Orrin, there is the soft smell of sulfur coming through to your nostrils. It's distant, but recognizable.
Narissa,
Hmm.
Narissa,
Yes?
do you smell that?
Do I?
Roll perception. It's a pretty soft smell.
Seven.
It's not making its way through to you.
Just the decaying smell that this place always has?
Well, how much do I know of the Badlands?
What exactly are you asking? Can you be a little more specific?
I would like to know if my character would know if there's something, some natural or expected source of a sulfuric smell in the Badlands.
Go ahead and roll nature.
At disadvantage.
Yes, at disadvantage.
10.
10. That's not, it doesn't come to you as like a commonplace thing as far as your knowledge of the Badlands goes.
Okay. Well, Nerissa, I smell something. Something a little peculiar. Do you know what eggs are?
Yes, I know what eggs are.
Okay. I just thought I'd check. But you know when you leave an egg out in the sun and then you crack it open and it's got a nasty smell to it?
A rotten egg.
Yes. That's it. That's the one. That's what I'm smelling. And I took note of it because I don't think that's well, it just came out of nowhere, you know? So can I like see if I can follow the smell?
I think that would be survival or perception at disadvantage.
$17.
It's very, very faint, but with the effort you're putting in, you're going all around the camp. You're even sneaking your way outside the crags to get away from the rocky kind of encampment that you guys are currently in. And where you're currently positioned, the scent seems to be originating from the north. But that's really all you can get.
Is that the direction that we need to travel?
Generally, yes.
Okay. Well, I take out my bow and I just have it in my hands. And then I say, well, Nerissa, I think that you should just keep your eyes peeled, yeah? Towards the north, maybe. That's what I think it's coming from. I don't want to go out and start something that we don't need to get involved in, so maybe the best is to just wait, because we have numbers.
Yes, probably not a good idea to go chasing things in the night. But it is just a smell. This place is strange.
So, why is it that you... I'm just confused, Nerissa. You seem like a very capable young lass, and yet you seem to be pacing about all the time, back and forth, like you're worried, like something's after you. What's that about?
I have a lot on my mind, and I'm not sure how to figure it out.
Well, maybe you.
I'm worried, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you could, bounce a few ideas off my wall. And I can tell you what I think about them.
Do you
All right.
Do you believe in an afterlife?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I do. Do you?
I do. But I think that I'm unsure what is true now that I've been here and I see these bodies, they arise from their grave, and so are they soulless, or what happens to it, you know?
Yeah, no, I definitely see where you're getting at. That's an interesting question. I suppose it's possible that, the soul has left the body and the body is just moving because of some other reason, It's just that something is inhabiting the body, like magic or an organism or something. I don't know. I'm just speculating here, but then the soul is not in the body, and so the body is just an empty vehicle for for motor function, possessed by some other substance. I don't know anything about what religion you believe in or anything like that, but maybe that soul is in the right place. Maybe
hope
that soul is where it's supposed to be.
And where is it supposed to be? Maybe that's what I'm stuck on right now. I hope Tuhanul and her followers can shed maybe some light on my question.
Maybe.
And with that, you take on the rest of the night, doing your best to calm down and find yourselves in bed, getting as much rest as you can before sunrise. And Narissa, you are in a deep sleep. Your body feels almost like it's floating. And your eyes open simply to chaos and death. You look around you to see a night-spattered badlands. Your friends, your acquaintances are all around you, fighting what looks to be the Raskavan fiends. Every once in a while, you glimpse familiar faces of your homeland as they are slain by your fellows. And you feel paralyzed, like you can do nothing but watch. You breathe, and a deep gray fog bellows out from you and coats the land. And the dead bodies begin to form into one another, merging, skin falling into bone, muscle turning into flesh, all into one giant amalgamation, something serpent-like as it climbs its way into the sky and wraps itself around the moon. As it reaches its tail, it begins to turn to stone as it bites on its own flesh, and venom, a poison drips down as the moon alights into the dreamer's flame. You realize that the same flame has now been lit inside your chest, and you see around you nothing. And you wake up to the light of the dreamer's flame and the heat sweltering around you as many of your party members are already getting ready for the day.
I'm like, woo. Very obviously nervous. I have to stand up and I'm like, maybe today, instead of doing push-ups and stuff, I'm gonna run some laps.
Okay, feel free to roll athletics still.
8.
8. You're doing your best, but this is an exceptionally hot day, and you don't feel exceptionally rested as you're even more all over the place than you were before. You do what you can, but there's no substantial growth from the type of exercise you're doing today. What is everyone else doing?
I'm gonna eat some of my rations while I tune my violin.
I'm getting my things sorted, and I think I'm particularly chipper today. Feeling a lot better, not exhausted.
It's absolutely fair.
You know what we should do, guys? We should get a proper, we should have a proper brekkie. We should invest into like some coffee or something to get the day started right.
I agree. I think you're right. Next time we're in town, we will get some better rations than what we have.
As you look down into your pack and realize that you are running dangerously low.
Yeah, all right. We'll make a grocery run.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Is there anything even out here to eat?
You can try to look for some food.
Dirt.
I don't think that's on my mind right now. Just like a general glance, it's like it's dirt and gross out here.
Yeah, you don't see, maybe every once in a while you'll see some sort of desert rodents scampering about, but they're quite sparse as far as your sightings of them. Not a lot of foliage or anything that you would see to be edible.
Very distractedly, I'm like, you could eat the mice. If you're hungry, I don't know.
I don't particularly like to eat rats and mice.
What's the difference between rats and mice and whatever else? It's all the same.
I'll look. Make a perception check for a small rodent that I can shoot with my bow.
Okay, go ahead.
$23.
Okay, you do happen to see a couple of them scampering around in between the crags. These things are kind of like squirrel-like as they go into the rocks around you and find holes and things to dart in and out of. You happen to see one that is following sort of a small pattern as it seems to also be searching for food.
I take a shot at it.
Okay, roll attack.
15.
And easy, it peeks its head out of the hole. You pull your bow taut and loose the arrow as soon as it finds itself exposed, and you get it right through the body. It hits with a small as you hit the rocks, and the body falls to the ground.
Oh, well done you.
I walk over and I pick it up, and I'm like, that takes me home. Yeah, anybody? I'll cook you up proper.
I'm all right. And just like while this has been going on, Orrin's just been like checking and packing all of his stuff, and he just pulls it up. It's like, Right, we are running out of food and we are running out of time. What say you all that we go visit the Tuanul, see if that's as hopeful a prospect as we hope, and if not, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Right, I agree. I think we go light on breakfast this morning. He said.
You can just eat it, you know. You don't have to cook it.
What? No, you definitely have to cook it.
You and me, we're a little different, so maybe where you're from.
Uren starts walking in the general direction of Tuanul.
All right. And I'm going to have whoever is in the lead go ahead and roll survival as you guys try to make your way to Grip.
It's probably me based on what I just said. So.
Okay.
Ooh, not bad. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. You're pushing towards the area that Narissa kind of pointed out on the just kind of like a little map that she mocked up in the dirt. And as you go further north, you start to head deeper towards the east as you find yourself passing all kinds of rock formations and just rotten desert plants. And that smell of sulfur gets very thick to where you all can see it. And off in the distance, more towards the northeast, you see a cloud of what looks to be like yellow dirt swarming around in a very large radius.
Close to the ground?
Going close to the ground and up.
Okay.
Almost like a sandstorm.
Okay.
But as far as your trajectory, you are feeling pretty okay with your direction.
Okay.
But it's ahead of us. It's like where we're going.
Yes.
Great.
Is there any way we can skirt around it?
It shouldn't be too hard.
Okay. We can assume that is where the sulfuric smell is coming from.
Yes.
From that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Orrin, do you see that?
Yes, but I don't think that I'll have to worry about it too much unless the wind shifts and it comes our way. Do you know what that is?
I was just gonna ask you the same question. Does anybody know if this place is, predisposed to sulfuric storms?
Yeah, would I know that? Or?
If anyone is gonna know, it would most likely be here. I will let you roll history, and Ersid, I'll let you roll nature.
Ooh, I got a 10.
You got a 10. Okay, Ersid.
Nope.
Okay, this is a new phenomenon. It's not familiar in any way to anyone in the party.
Well, I suggest that we, mosey on around it.
I would agree.
Let's.
Fair. And as you continue your trek towards what you know of Anon's Grip, you see off in the distance a large rocky formation pulling itself into the sky, almost as if fingers were pushing themselves out of the ground and reaching towards the Dreamer's Flame. You can assume that is your heading, as it looks like the hand is trying to grip whatever air and life is around it.
So, Narissa, have you been here before? I mean, what exactly did you talk about with that bloke?
I look over and what?
Did you hear me?
Oh, I just spoke to him about things.
It's just nothing. There's just nothing there. It's just a fucking wall, as I mutter to myself, and I just keep walking. I don't even know why I try engaging. It's just.
She'll come around, mate. It's fine.
And you guys continue on, and it begins to become more hilly around this area. You start to see a lot more like desert brush, sage, and like Joshua tree type vegetation out there. And among these sprawling hills and deep mountains in the Badlands, you come across a valley, and it's extremely close. Like you look off to your west, and that sulfuric cloud is just miles away and stinking up everything around you. You look forward and you find what look to be these dilapidated arches that are reaching towards the hand-like formation. They stretch into the air like some sort of humongous beast trying to call itself out of the ground. Even more spikes make themselves known as you get closer to the grip. Edison, can you make a perception or history check, please?
Perception?
Yes, perception or history.
24.
24. It dawns on you that that cloud is completely surrounding the village of Orrin.
Well, okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do mental gymnastics to visualize. So what we're looking at ahead of us is what we think to be Anam's grip.
Yes.
And this sulfur storm is moving, or it is in the direction of Orrin?
It is to your west, which is the direction of Orrin.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, back in character.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Any of that what Orrin is? That direction.
Yeah.
Did we notice a sulfuric storm surrounding Orrin before?
No, not.
Yeah, was the cloud always in that spot?
You guys were not privy to this cloud before. This is also new.
This cloud, is it the same? Is it the sulfur cloud?
Yes.
Okay, so it has moved all the way over there.
We also
No.
It hasn't moved.
didn't notice the plants and the fungus, and that just appeared, so...
I'm confused then. What cloud is over Orrin?
The same sulfur cloud. It hasn't moved. You guys have simply gotten closer.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we just have noticed.
And it
well,
is
I have
hanging
noticed
over
now.
Orrin.
Yes.
Gotcha. I feel like not good.
Yeah.
Didn't
I don't even know what we can do about it. Maybe we should just hurry up.
Yes, I think the sooner we get to the Tuanul and determine whether or not that is a reliable asset, the better.
Maybe they know something about the meteorology about this place.
Hope so. I'm sure it'll probably be a little more magic-y though,
Oh,
rather than scientific, as they are, a church that worships some sort of deity. Who gives a fuck about that anyways? Can we just double time over there?
Right. I think so. And he kind of picks up his pace.
You guys pick up your pace. The Dreamer's Flame finds itself resting high in the sky. It's roughly our time. We're thinking like 1 p.m. It's very deep into the afternoon. You've trekked your way roughly 10, 15 miles from your current campground. And as you get closer, you find that these arches are more akin to bone than rock, like the ribs of some gigantic humanoid creature. Ahead of you, you see a procession of familiar white robes. They mill about the remains of what seems to be a giant skull. where under the arch of its upper jaw sits a small tent of sorts, fashioned with white stained hide, with beautiful depictions of strange creatures all about it. These people are in their own strange little teepees as well, with the same sort of creatures and like depictions all over them. And they're just kind of getting ready for their day, doing all kinds of things. Some of them look like they're getting ready to like pack up and things like that. But it seems you found the camp of the messengers of Tuhanul.
Gotcha.
So they don't make any like. Do they have any like reaction to us just strolling up there?
You guys are still pretty far away.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of pretty. Reminds me of home.
Your home
Yeah,
just has a bunch of tents.
Bones?
More or less. The bones more so.
Tents and bones. That sounds so hellish.
And as you guys get closer, you see a couple of fellows in white move up to you, and they are trying to strain themselves. They raise their hands. Hell, welcome. And they rush up to you, and they do a soft bow. One is they look to be reptilian in form. They have a very long protruding snout and a couple of teeth jutting out from their jaws. Their color is more of like a ruddy red. You don't see any like horns or anything, just a very almost smooth texture that could easily blend in with the Badlands red rocks. The other is simply an elf. You can't really tell what race or like nationality, like kind of elf they are. Their eyes are a soft, like blue color, while their skin is a little olive. Then they have their hair hidden behind the white robes, but you do see soft wisps of red hair swinging down as they come towards you.
Male or female?
They're both male.
Okay.
Orrin just does like a little nod to each of them. Hello. We, I suppose I'll get...
think, can I talk? Maybe this time?
Surely.
Thank you. And I just kind of step forward. Hello. I spoke to one of your people a few days ago. Devorel?
And they both look at each other. That name sounds a tad familiar. Was he... Where did you see him?
Orrin.
Deverell. Well, were you looking for him in particular? The lizard folk speaks up.
Yes, I think I would like to speak to him again.
Well, we'll be sure to let you find him. Here, follow us. And make yourselves at home. We are all family here.
Thank you.
And you get in, and as you get closer to this area, you see little pockets of what seem to be like pools of water, and they've soaked in the ruddy soil of the Badlands, and they're stained red, the water itself, and around them grows just these soft, nasty little red shrubs. They take you to a tent, and they sort of swing it open, and you hear a couple of whispers, and they turn around as the flap closes. He will be ready in just a moment.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, thank you all for coming. Is there anything we can do for you? Do you need food? Do you need water?
Yes.
I mean, yes, actually.
Well, we have a bit to share, so we will be back shortly.
Love it. If you have coffee grounds or beans, that'd be great.
We will see what we can do.
Much obliged.
They give you a small bow as they go about, and you see the rest of the followers kind of looking at you with a sort of kind curiosity. Whenever your eyes meet, they smile and do a small wave and nod as they kind of go back to their day. And after a couple of moments, shaggy-haired Deverell steps out of his tent, brushes off his robes, and kind of puts himself together. So you came,
I did.
and you brought friends.
They need help. So they're with me.
They.
Right.
Okay. Thought we were in this together.
I'm here. I'm with you.
Right?
We all need help, don't we? Well, what exactly can I do for you all?
Unfortunately, first things first. We have gotten in a little bit of trouble with some Raskavan. It's not the biggest deal for us, but they are trying to harm the city of Orrin because for some reason they blame the city. And we are just trying to stop them from attacking the city. Any help you could offer?
Why exactly? What do they blame on the village of Orrin? Those people are much more already in worse shape. They don't need bandits coming after them.
Well, we were threatened, and a couple of us felt like their life was in danger. So they killed the bandits.
And he looks down and he furrows his brows. You found yourselves all in quite the predicament. And because of this, they assume that the rest of these bandits will cost the city.
Yes.
Misfortune. Tuhanu speaks and no one listens. Could this be what was prophesied? I have no idea. And he cocks his head and looks at you.
To me?
Yes.
You do care about the people of Orrin, right? I mean, you were spouting warnings to them, so I would assume that you have their safety and interests, no?
Tuhanu cares about all. This land and what is to become of it should be shared, should be cared for, especially their people. So yes, in short, I do care and I am concerned because not only are bandits seeming to be calling Orrin a target, but I'm sure you can smell that disdainful cloud that hangs over Orrin, over yonder. And he turns his eyes.
We have noticed that, and I'll be frank. What we came here for was we're hoping to enlist your aid in solving this conundrum that we and the people of Orrin find ourselves in. We think that we have very much reason to believe that the Raskavan will lash out violently against the people of Orrin within the day. And we cannot hope to stop them ourselves. So we're hoping to enlist your aid in some sense, or at least inquire if such aid is available.
Or if you know where it is available.
So, to be clear, you intend to garner forces for some sort of almost military advance against these bandits?
Not against so much as in defense of.
Right, we figured, since Orrin didn't like you so much, last time you were there yourself, they were throwing you around, telling you to get out, but You scratch their back, they might scratch yours. If we all work together against these Raskavan, you help save this city, and maybe you find some refuge there.
Refuge is not needed. And he turns around and he looks towards the finger-like rocks reaching towards the sky. This area has been quite hospitable, and we do intend to. And as he says this, the reptilian-like creature and the elf run up to you, and they start giving you rations. And one of them taps Deverell on the shoulder, beckons him closer, and one moment, excuse me. And the three of them go off and seem to have a conversation. As far as your rations go, they presented you with, it seems to be like deer meat and elk meat, just things like that. There are a few vegetables and things like that, leeks, carrots, onions, potatoes. But overall, they would have given you guys a collective of 5 days rations and one water skin.
Okay. No coffee, huh? Bagger.
And Deverell returns as the other two walk away. Yes, you're saying?
Oh, I was gonna say if they were within earshot, maybe I could try and, without being, obvious at all, if I could try and just catch a couple of words.
What's your passive perception?
17.
As they speak, you do hear a couple of whispers. She would like to meet them now. Well, at any time, but make sure they don't leave before that happens. And that's about all you get.
Okay.
And Deverell returns. Well, I would call this hospitable news. Panh would like to have a word with you all. So, feel free to make yourselves comfortable, but in due time, I would like to take you to meet our leader at the time and moment.
That would be excellent. Thank you.
Just, are we ready now? Would you guys like to eat? Do you need to?
Well, I mean, I don't want to be rude, but we don't know when these Raskavans are gonna show up. So maybe I appreciate your hospitality, but maybe we could, get on with it.
What my associate is saying is that time is of the essence. So if she is prepared to meet with us now, that would be preferable.
Then please follow. And he kind of brushes himself off and walks you through the rest of the messenger's encampment. And they all kind of, watch you, and it's almost as if all eyes are on you as you are taken towards the specific tent under the skull of Anam's grip.
I'm going to whisper to Isid in Elvish. How do you feel about these folks?
I really don't know. I'm getting mixed signals.
Right.
Are you?
I am. They kind of give me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, but I mean, they've shown us nothing but kindness, but there's something oddly off-putting about it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Everywhere I go, people look at me with disdain and disgust, and these guys are not doing it.
Maybe they found God.
Fuck.
Kane hears just in his mind, just like, all right, have that silver tongue ready. I think we have a real chance of making a connection with them.
Right, I'm ready.
And you make your way to this tent, which is a lot bigger. It has about 4 pillars that are holding up the height itself. I mean, it looks like it could fit a couple of people. And Deverell opens the flap to the tent, and inside you see what looks to be a very ornate rug, covered in all kinds of abstract purples, blues, yellows, in a very almost regal pattern. Inside, a few candles are going, and you can see what seems to be a figure kneeling before the rug. And Deverell looks at you all. I will not be present, so please, I do hope things will go well for you all.
Thank you.
And you step inside, and there is a woman cloaked in black, flat robes as they drape down and begin to spread across the floor. And as you view up her body and past her neck, which is exposed, you just see the bottom half of a face and full lips covered in purple lipstick. The top of her head is covered in a very round, almost skull-like mask that hides her eyes, hides her hair, besides two wisps of purple hair that swing down. It comes and peeks into sort of a crest near the back, and it looks to be made out of a very shiny and almost light rock.
She's facing us then?
Yes.
Okay.
Kneeling at the back of the tent. Well, please, sit.
Orrin just bows, hinging at his hip, and sits.
Kane
Just
sits
sits
down.
cross-legged. Yeah, right in front of her.
Ersid does like a very over the top, like.
Sit down. You hear in your mind.
And then I sit down.
So, you have found us for a reason, I am sure.
Yes. And I fill her in pretty much just as we did with Deverell.
Well, you come with quite the predicament. And you expect a peaceful sort like us to be able to aid in such an endeavor.
In ensuring that peace is kept
Yes.
in the long run.
Yes, truth be told, we were not sure like what to expect, but we'd hoped to find aid, be it militarily or diplomatically, amidst your people.
Or supplies, or.
Yes, and we know that you have you see some value in the protection of Orrin. One of your messengers went to great lengths to warn them of an oncoming danger.
Did Deverell tell you about the nature of our warning?
He did not tell
Vaguely.
He did not tell myself, but our companion Narissa heard more about it than I.
And their head tilts slowly towards you.
He didn't say anything specific. It was just a kind of gloom and doom sort of prophecy. Who knows, maybe we were the danger.
Well, due to what I know or have been told, for you to make such a fortunate meeting with the people of Orrin as this prophecy makes itself known, I can only sense that the four of you may be involved in some way. But do not take yourselves at fault. Let me begin. I am known as Blacksoul Panh. I am one of the many souls of Tuhanu. And we are told by the speaker to share her word. And our word for Orrin was evacuation. That seems to be why they were so upset with Deverell's words outside of being given by a goddess who was foreign to them.
So maybe we can all convince them to move? It seems there is that cloud above them now. They can't get water, and now bandits are after them. For something that's not even their fault. Seems like a bad place to be.
I would have to agree. It is late in the day. And to your benefit, there have been scouts sent out earlier this morn because of the sulfuric cloud. Rest assured we are trying to make contact.
With Orrin.
Yes.
What do you know about this cloud?
Not much, but with the nature of Tuhanu's voice, it seems to be a harbinger, bringing us closer to her truth.
Yeah, what exactly is the cloud? Do you know?
Do we know what the cloud is besides a message? Besides a symbol of the coming age? No, its properties are foreign to us. Hence the scouts we have sent.
All right. Well, I know that Tuhanu is speaking to you, but I don't hear anything. So, perhaps you could tell me what Tuhanu's message is.
Roll persuasion.
$22.
Well, first let me say, Tuhanu does not speak to me. I merely listen to the speaker, who is far away right now on another journey.
All right.
As far as her message, I am only allowed to tell those foreign to our cloth that it is something glorious, but also something well avoided.
Is that to say that, regarding your prophecy, that Orrin would do well to be evacuated?
If the word is true, and I assure you all that it is, Orrin has already been lost. So for those people to stay there is dangerous.
I agree. I think she's right.
Already been lost?
And
How do you mean?
The firstborn of Elbrin are slowly returning. And as they make their return, the world will find itself new. Change is always violent, and we only hope to spare as many of those as we can.
Firstborn of Elbrin, that sounds like something, like a common terminology in the world. Is that something I'd be aware of?
I would like you specifically to roll history with advantage.
Advantage. Oh, that's pretty good. 21.
Good. You, in your particular studies in the Manu Academy, have only heard that term, well, when you're researching your favorite subject, which happens to be dragons.
What?
Okay, then, like anyone who's looking would see Orrin visibly perk up. It was the firstborn of, what was the name again?
Elbrin.
Elbrin.
The world.
Sorry.
Fucking shit.
Can I roll an insight on Blacksoul Panh?
What are you trying to incite?
I'm trying to determine. If, and maybe this is just not something that you can do with insight, but I think that it is. I'm trying to determine if her opinion about I'm trying to see if she is trustworthy, essentially. If she really does have the interest of us and like people in general, like she claims she does.
Sure, dude. Go ahead and roll insight.
21.
21. You don't sense any sort of like when she says what she is saying, it comes from the heart. You can only assume like she's truly a believer in her cause and her mission. And when she says she wants Orrin to evacuate, nothing about that sounds like she wants to put them in a worse situation.
Okay.
When she drops the name of firstborn of Elbron, Orrin is like excited. He kind of scoots forward just a little bit, just still kneeling. It's like, the firstborn of Elbron? You mean dragons? Your prophecy promises the return of dragons?
A smile slowly makes her way across her face, and she sits up. Yes. Those Tuhanu has loved are set to bring their strength back to this world, to bring it to a much more healthy and full environment. You have seen the Badlands, how broken this world is. What could fix it but the power of the firstborn?
Truly. Is this return imminent? Is this to be is Orrin is a dragon to be expected in Orrin? Is there anything more you can tell us about this prophecy?
I can ask you more than tell you. I believe that, or at least from what Deverell has heard while he spent his small time in Orrin, is that their blight stems from their minds. Whatever is down there may have the answers that you seek.
Down, as in under.
Well, that is where minds go.
Oh, fucking hell.
So,
Go ahead.
but I feel like what you're saying though here is that there is some value to ensuring that Orrin does not fall. If Orrin is somehow involved in this prophecy.
Well, that is one way to look at it. I would say more that Orrin is a stage, and as it is set, we want to avoid any sort of harm that could come upon its people.
Perhaps I'm just misunderstanding you. Dragons are fucking beasts.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Orrin layers daggers at you.
I don't know anything about dragons, so I'm like,
Yeah, I don't know.
From tails, fucking shooting lightning and fire.
Yes, they are magnificent creatures.
They could fucking sunder anything, and you want them to return?
It's not so much about what I want. If they're going to return, far be it from any of us to stop it.
Fucking hell, man.
You are afraid.
You're bloody right, I'm afraid.
Well, then you would do best to listen. Because the world is going to change. And with the same power that you claim sunders worlds, is the same very energy and magic that the world was born from. And that the world will use to heal.
And I'm greatly appreciative that the world was born. It's what's made me live such the great life that I do. But when a dragon comes back and destroys a town or eats people, that's not healing.
No, it very much is not.
Are they going to fight for us and help us eat all the demons and that's it?
You seem to be interested in our message.
I kind of raise my hand. Is there any way we could speak? Just the two of us.
If your friends are comfortable with that.
Well, as long as you don't turn into a dragon.
If you do turn into a dragon, please tell me. But if I will say that nothing about this subject is something that I find uncomfortable. And I am very much interested to hear more of what you have to say.
I lean over to Kane and I say in Elven, I say, maybe if she was a dragon, then she'd be more personable.
I'd somehow find that
Roll
highly
stealth.
unlikely. Both of us.
Yeah.
I hope she doesn't speak Elvish.
Yeah, y'all are just assuming that people don't.
I'm fucking great.
I mean, it's fine if she hears me.
I suppose. That's a big 7 for me. Big
Wait,
7.
oh, what do you want me to roll?
Stealth.
No, it's an 8.
Okay.
26.
My passive would have heard Kane.
Yeah, I think.
Right.
Yeah. What did you say again?
8.
No.
I said I find that highly unlikely. That she would be more personable if she was a fucking dragon.
Yeah, but all you said was, I find that highly unlikely.
Right.
Okay, because I heard that part. And you hear a response in a very almost like harsh and, for lack of a better word, uncommon pronunciation of Elven language. What exactly do you find unlikely?
That you would be more personable as a dragon.
Do I pick up anything from her like, from that specific type of speech?
What are your languages?
I have Abyssal, Common, Draconic, and Elvish.
It sounds a little like Elvish. I mean, you're hearing it in Elvish, but you get the same, like, what? Why is she saying these words like that? What kind of accent is that?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just to clarify, I was talking about Narissa, but maybe I wasn't.
No,
Clear
that was
in-
unclear.
Okay, well
I
then,
thought you were talking about Panh.
so it is.
And she looks at Narissa. I think I would rather speak to you alone in the first place.
Yes.
So, if you would exit my humble housings here,
Much
Narissa,
obliged.
this one here will return soon.
I will walk out.
He
Go.
stands up, bows more deeply.
Go
and is like,
cook or something.
Yes, thank you. I hope to speak to you more in soon. And he kind of helps usher Kane and
Kane's
there's
already
it
out. Kane stood up, beelined it.
So, you would like to speak to me alone?
Yes. There is a lot of feelings that I have about this. When I saw Deverell in Orrin, and he was being beaten as he preached, something he said spoke to me, and I can't explain why.
I smile. We know you seem to have heard her voice.
If that is the feeling that I got, then yes.
Well, like your tattooed friend expressed earlier, they feel nothing. So, a feeling at all must mean something, yes?
I mean, he doesn't feel it because I've come to the decision that you don't choose your God. They choose you.
I smile. Deverell mentioned that there was someone in Orrin who could listen. And I believe that has something to do with their predisposition. You who sits in front of me, I ask you, remove your mask.
I slowly pull the hood down and then look behind me, make sure no one's like around except her, and then I'll pull the mask off.
Well, I believe to build any sort of trust, I should respond in kind. And you guys, I don't know, fill up the noise or something, because I'm going to go speak into her ear.
Okay.
Here, should we just,
We'll
role
just
play?
be hanging out
Yeah, just
outside.
role play outside the thing.
Yeah. Look, Orrin, I'm sorry. I didn't mean any offense when I said that dragons were fucking beasts, but
I suppose I might have overreacted a bit, but I confess I'm quite excited at this prospect. I've studied dragons my entire life.
and maybe that's why you're perhaps more okay with this, but all I've ever heard are stories about them being super powerful creatures, and I just find it...
Destructive.
Sorry?
Destructive.
Right. I just find it would be another thing on this planet that could fucking kill so many people, like the demons.
Yeah, I mean, what's exactly your opinion, Orrin? Do you want dragons to be back? Because that seems... I'm not trying to be offensive, but that seems a bit selfish if you wanted dragons to be back just so you could study them at the cost of lives.
You say that as though it is my choice whether they come back. As
No,
though
no,
I will wait,
I'm-
I will cast a spell and they will come back.
and that
No. I'm asking if you want them to come back or not. If you had a choice, what would you pick?
As let me check her name real quick. As Blacksoul said, they are coming, and that they are the firstborn of Elbron. They are part of the natural order. Yes, that may be destructive to many races, but it would not be unlike how you were destructive to that rat not a few hours ago.
Sure, and what I'm saying is, if another rat saw me kill that rat, they would think, okay, maybe that's the way that things are, but that doesn't mean that the rat likes his friend dying. Do you get it?
I do. I see your concern.
And we will, with that, cut back to Narissa and Blacksoul Panh. So, as she returns her mask to her head, how do you feel now?
You are also something like me.
In this world where humans reign and those like you and some like me are stepped on, we find that we must band together. And as the Church of Arthia preaches and imprisons those who do not deserve it, the children of the firstborn, we intend to make a world where everyone can live comfortably. As well, I want to say that you may be curious about this note. You are not the only one of your kind on this continent right now.
You know of others.
Many. So, I think there may be some sort of mutual benefit if we do our best to stick together.
Makes sense.
Well, I will tell you, if you are not to travel with us, know that the mirror of dead men may hold some points of interest for you.
The mirror of dead men?
The mirror, M-E-R-E.
What is that?
To the north, near the cold north, closer to Weisgard, there is a swamp. There are many more messengers there. And those messengers are in contact with, I can not say friends of yours, but those of your kind.
And are they like me or like I was?
What does that mean, child?
I guess I'll be honest with you.
Please, the truth is all we care for.
I used to fight every day, all day. Pounded the earth, spilled blood, hoping that it would drip down and wake our slumbering god. And I never cared. I never felt anything but that power and that drive to wake him. And then something happened. And now everything feels huge. like I woke up in another person's body.
And their lips kind of purse together, and they take on a stance of thought and pondering. I don't believe that is a question for myself. I think the further you go, you will find answers. And if Tuhanu has blessed you with the knowledge that we are much smaller than the world around us, then I hope you find your answers through our words somewhere in your future.
It's the only lead I have.
Then take that to heart. Now, I must rest. You may want to go back to your friends.
Of course, sleep easy. And don't dream of any bad prophecies.
If it is a prophecy from Tuhanu, I don't believe bad is in any question of that situation. And she nods slightly, and that's your cue to leave.
All right, I pull the hood back up, put the mask on, and walk out.
Are you guys trying to do anything specific while you were waiting for Narissa?
I don't think so. I wasn't.
I was wondering, at a quick glance, maybe not a quick glance, I mean, I'm actively trying to notice these things, but what's like the demographic of people here? Is it men and women? Is it only men? Is it predominantly one race? Is it pretty diverse?
You find this is the most diverse collection of individuals you have seen next to your own tribe. You see lizard-like people, you see obviously dragonborn, you see half-orcs, you see humans, elves, and half-elves. There is quite the menagerie of individuals, all seeming to follow the words of this cloth.
Okay.
Orrin, probably would have taken more interest in you described a tapestry with a beautiful depiction of creatures. After hearing what he just heard, what creatures are those?
To you've actually seen extremely similar depictions of these in your study of dragons, and you can see that in this encampment, or specifically on Blacksoul Pond's tent. The dragons are various types of black dragons, ranging in age, ranging in size and kind of variety. Some have horns, some don't. And there's one that you kind of fixate on that seems to be larger than the others, and its head slinks itself over the top of the tent, and you see these two large horns that pierce into the openings of the tent flaps, and they're laced with all kinds of what look to be jewels and rings and things like that. But the face deteriorates from black and simply into a skull.
Oh, okay. You said that the horns are piercing into the tents?
Yeah, so where the horns connect to they go from the top of the tent to the front flaps.
Oh, okay. So
yes.
kind of framing the doorway, just the embroidery of it.
Exactly.
Okay. He's very much enjoying that.
Awesome.
When Narissa steps out, what did she say? What happened?
We talked about the message of Tuhanu. I'm not sure what it is yet. I am a bit curious to find out.
Is she gonna help?
Look, I think we've got what we came here for. We need to tell the city to leave. And if we can't get them to leave, I don't know if there's much we can do.
Great.
I just, when she mentioned evacuation, I remember the conversation we had with Marco. I didn't think that they're going to be privy to leaving. He made it very clear about how his fathers before him died. But I guess if the messengers of Tuhnul won't offer anything else, I'm sure they could offer something. Supplies, maybe magic. I don't know what these people are capable of. I didn't think that, I wasn't expecting like military, but they seem to have already made their decision that Orrin is lost, which is a little frustrating to me, to just sit back and just watch it crumble, knowing that you didn't do anything.
We don't need to continue doing nothing. As nurses
No,
said,
no.
we could
Well,
go
I'm talking
and-
about the messengers of Tunnel.
Look, they're not going to do anything because they want that place to get destroyed, and whatever dragon lays under there, they want it to come out from under it.
I don't
said
think that's
explicit-
what they're saying.
They have said explicitly that they do not wish to see Orrin fall.
Right. But they're not going to do anything to help them.
They gave it a good try.
And as you say this, Deverell kind of ushers his way up towards the encampment under the skull. So, how did everything go?
So good.
Frustrating.
That is a good question, but I think good.
Well, I certainly hope so. Blacksoul Panh she's a marvel.
Yes, truly.
If you had stayed, sometimes it's just, we have our own conferences, and when she speaks, it's almost as if we're hearing the power of the speaker himself, which I do hope you all get to meet one day.
I do as well. What can you tell me about Tuanu, about the speaker? I confess I'm not entirely certain what you know versus what Blacksoul Panh knows.
Well, I can certainly say that Panh knows more than I. That being said, Tuhanu, she speaks with love. She speaks with kindness. She's the type of deity that only wants to see everything grow. And I can only hope to be a part of this new resurgence of the world. I'm the speaker. I have only met him once in all his glory. And that was when I knew that the word of Tuhanu was true. And that this individual is connected to her.
What can you tell me about this speaker?
Well, the speaker of the prism is what we think to be a man, but that matters not. They go around spreading our word as far as they can. They even trusted a collective of who we call the souls to spread their word across the continent. And as you can see, we operate under the Blacksoul. The rest of them, well, I could not tell you how many there are, but he seems to have some sort of... he speaks like he knows everything. And I can only assume that language comes from Tuhanu herself. Where he's from, I have no idea. So I guess, I don't know. You would have to meet them yourself, because I don't think I am of much help.
I appreciate it all the same. As eager as I am to meet the speaker, whenever possible, I would be remiss if we lost sight of current events.
What What did Panh say?
What did Panh say? Like, I don't
The
know if
destruction of Orrin was
Yeah.
inevitable, and we should just convince them to move.
You can't change your fate, is what she said.
A load of bollocks, in my opinion.
Predestined.
Well,
Respectfully.
and did she say anything about the scouts that were out in Orrin already?
They were trying to make contact. They're not going to listen to you.
Will they listen to you?
I don't know.
I mean, I doubt it.
Maybe I could try something.
We can go back, but the church is already there. And frankly, I think that they think that what you believe in is bollocks.
Well, of course they do. The Church of Arthur is well established and out in Orrin. If I'm not mistaken, they worship Rook, their god of the earth. Us stepping on their territory is, I can only assume, a tad bit offensive. But what are we to do when all we are doing is trying to save them? We'd hate to approach en masse because that may be cause for threat, cause for them to take the offensive.
Right. But
Well, actually,
is the threat of whatever lies beneath, as Pond said, not threat enough?
Well, as you say, when they think that all our words are bollocks, is it really a threat to you?
Suppose not.
well, I actually disagree. I think if you did show up en masse, like you said, and you showed up with supplies, and we came with you, and we warned them, and we told them, because we're not a part of you, they don't necessarily think that we're full of bollocks.
Yes, but they do not think highly of us after the events of the
No.
other day.
They don't, but Marco knows what we're trying to do. And I think that he knows that we have the interest of Orrin at heart. And if we showed up and we said, listen, the Raskavans are coming, the messengers of Tunul are here to help. Watch, just sit back and watch, and the Raskavans will show up. I mean, all they need to do would be to open their eyes and see that we're telling the truth. We know that the Raskavans are coming.
And yes, and even if they do not believe the words of Tuanul from a religious perspective, I'm certain that they will respect a threat coming their way, which, on top of the Raskavan, whatever's happening with that sulfur cloud bodes ill to anyone.
I do have, hopefully, somewhat of an ally in one of the Arthian knights there. Perhaps he will join the cause.
Yes, perhaps he could convince them to leave. The why of the leaving is not important, but
I suppose he could show a little muscle. At least make them evacuate until the Raskavan are dealt with.
Well, you say his time is of the essence, and we find it getting late. If you would all be comfortable staying the night here, or traveling through the night, though I don't think I can convince the rest of our entourage to do so, we can leave at the flame's light as soon as it reaches the sky, and we can warn Orrin of its many terrible fates.
Do we have a sense of how long before the Raskavan make it to Orrin? Because, I mean, it's like we're a couple hours away when the guy left to go and tell them, hey, it's go time. and then it's like a day or so.
I mean, he does
walk
have to
there.
talk to Sinbo, and I don't think Sinbo is at that, like, encampment thing that they're at right now. So, like, maybe they're waiting on him to get there. So, like, that could also mean there's more time.
I mean, I definitely have the impression
I
that
do
Simbo
think
is there.
Simbo is there.
Yeah.
I think
I don't think there's anything saying that Sinbo was not there, but there was a mention of something coming to the camp or someone coming to the camp. As far as you know, it took you basically a day and a half to get to the Raskovan encampment from Orrin.
Okay.
So you would expect that with this day's travel, the very soonest they could arrive is tomorrow, unless they decide to travel through the night.
Okay.
Which they fucking might, because we know that the Raskovan go out at night.
yeah. I mean,
Also,
Ersid-
why wouldn't you just roll up on anybody in the middle of the night?
yeah.
It's the best time to cut some throats.
Yeah, but they might not really let us in at night. They, like, close the gates and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Raskovan.
I know. I just mean if we were to go there at night to try and, like, get there first.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
I seem to think that it would be unlikely that they would show up this soon to Orrin, but I find it unlikely for a couple of reasons. One, I guess I could just be Ersid saying this, but I find it unlikely that they would show up so soon because, well, one, they're not an organized military. Two, I think because they're not an organized military, they would need time to, rally their forces and get something together. But then again, I don't know much about the Raskavans.
I disagree with you. I think criminals are rash and they don't give a fuck and they will take what they have. There's 20 plus people in there.
And Deverell chimes in. Well, this is all. Sounds like a lot you all have to deal with. If you will give us some time. Over our nightly meal, I will speak with Panh, but I think the soonest we will be able to gather said supplies and deliver them to Orrin will be in the morning. Whatever you do is up to you, but I will do my best to get and garner our support. Rest assured, you have mine.
we appreciate it.
Thank you.
And in
If
any
I may
case,
ask,
in any real quick, just in any case, if we leave too early, we risk exhausting ourselves,
Right.
and will be no use to Orrin or ourselves at that point. And I would hazard that the Raskovan have a similar anxiety, that they may want to be rested when they come to Orrin, so they may not be in a hurry. I can't say for certain, but if I were them, that's what I would do.
what exactly is it that Deverell is ensuring to? What kind of support is he offering? Or I say that to Deverell.
I know they have issues with their water, and we may have some to spare, but as you can see, we are quite a large group. Furthermore, rations, and at least we do have some mages with us, clerics of Tuanul that may be able to at least make the water drinkable for another day or so.
Do your mages and clerics have healing properties?
Only so much, but yes.
I believe that both of those abilities would be much appreciated, both by us and the people of Orrin, in any case.
I think that's huge.
Yes, if they are at our disposal, that would be much appreciated.
Again, I can really only do my best to convince Blacksoul Panh. But I'm not sure. She wanted to speak with you all. specifically. And so, maybe there will be a good chance that we can make something happen.
Again, we appreciate any help that you can offer.
Thank you. And with that, I think we are going to take our break for the day. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. You guys hold tight, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. Hey, yo, we are back. I hope you guys are enjoying today's session of Under the Dreamer's Flame, episode 3. The party's finally looks like they're getting some answers and making some headway in this crazy situation that they found themselves in. Thanks for being interactive in the chat. Thanks for watching us. Just a couple of shout outs to Ali Bear Arts, Annie Mosey, another Twitch TV viewer. What's up? The Snowman's, Graph Mal, Itzima. We got Coxips, we got Madam Stone, we got you guys returning. Thanks for, keeping up with us. Madlax 1997, let's go. Mo Peace, and of course, Saucy Stars. Thank you guys so much. So we are going to take that and we're going to get right back into it as our party decides to spend, we're going to do a soft jump to supper time as the messengers of Tuhanul begin to get together for their nightly meal. And together they all start to mill about, and you guys are really noticing the size of this commune at the moment. You start to see women, children, men all coming out of the woodworks. They're all wearing their white robes, and you see humans, you see dragonborns, you see just such a diverse crowd all coming together simply to share time and share a meal with these people. At the center of the commune is sort of like a large set of wooden plates, not exactly a table. It's not raised, but it's a place where they can keep their food and keep their everything they're eating, their cups, their drinks. Water skins are being passed around, and the wooden slabs lead all the way towards that tent under the skull of Anam's grip, and at that end sits Blacksoul Panh.
It's a little midsummery.
There's no comment on that. And Blacksoul Panh rises. Messengers of Tuhanul and our esteemed guests, we are here this evening as the light of the dreamer's flame dims, to take upon this nourishment and to announce that Orrin may once again accept an offer of our aid. We will do our best to save these people while the world is uprooted around them, to keep them safe in this ever-changing time. Eat well, sleep well, for in the morning we will take what extra valuables we have, food and water, to help Orrin in his escape, as Tuhanul sets the stage for a glorious becoming. Thank you. And she kneels, and the rest of them, you hear some of them like, oh my gosh, this is finally happening. Oh, we're so excited. When is this going to happen? When is this going to take place? They all begin to eat, and they're chattering amongst themselves about the new world and how it's going to usher in a time of prosperity and just comfort as the world returns to its previous state.
I shoot glances at everyone.
Orrin is just echoing just the things. Oh, it's gonna happen, as though he's in on it.
Oh my god.
Like he's really enjoying this.
Yeah.
I look at Kane. Now I don't want to speak Elvish, but I just look at Kane and I'm like, whoa, boy.
Yeah, he gives you the same kind of look. Just, you can see that he totally thinks these people are a bunch of fucking whack jobs.
But then I also shoot a look at Narissa. What's her facial expression?
I don't know. You don't know. My eyes.
Wait, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I forgot.
Mm-hmm. My eyes are kind of narrowed. I look very deep in thought.
What is her eye expression?
Like this.
Kane.
So then I lean over to Narissa and I say, Narissa, how do you eat if you've got your mask on.
I usually just turn away and pull it up a little bit.
Makes sense.
Oh, he's gonna be watching you all night now.
Yeah, he's trying to get a peek.
It's like, it's fine, I just won't eat.
Yeah, can I roll a perception check to keep an eye on, see if I can catch a glimpse of Narissa's face?
I'll have Narissa roll stealth.
What? Does that count?
I don't know. That seemed like a slip.
It did slip. 18.
Pretty good.
All right.
That's it.
All right, here it comes.
90.
26.
No!
I rolled a 19. I'm a +7. Sorry, so.
Jesus.
That's how it goes. So as Narissa's eating, she still goes about her standard practice of trying to be as unseen as possible. But you do happen to catch a glimpse, and most people would not notice this as the light of the Dreamer's Flame extinguishes and you're replaced with the Green Knight of the Badlands Dark. And you see her skin is soft and almost like a pale greenish color as it pulls up, and you see what seems to be, you can't make it out, but there's like a bluish greenish hue near her cheekbones, and her mouth is quite large. It's a little strange to see, but overall she looks humanoid.
Okay. Put that in my mental note.
Kane's gonna lean up against a post of one of the tents and play something eerie and ominous.
Okay, what is the emotion you're trying to elicit in these people? Before I have you roll performance, my guy.
Just playing the Jaws theme?
Honestly, the music playing right now is a little tense.
That's a 10.
A 10. Your playing is fine, but its juxtaposition to the mood of the people stops it from carrying the weight that you hope it does. You see no change in anyone's like excitement or energy, but you do get a couple of compliments on your playing.
Okay.
I lean over to Orrin and I point to my head.
Orrin is not paying attention. Like he's okay, real quick, just to kind of set where he would be. What you said there were Dragonborn like around?
Yes.
Like how many and like what kinds?
You see 3 Dragonborn in this commune. You see one who is sort of like kind of like a rusty orangish color, with a little bit of like a metallic hue as what soft light exudes from the moon begins to shine off their skin. You see another who has a lot of horns ranging from his long snout all the way up to his head. He looks like he would have a lot of trouble wearing a hood, like it may cut them up. And he is like a sort of like a mossy green with a yellowish kind of like a taupe underbelly. And then the last one you see is blue and soft. They have just a couple of horns on their nose, but the rest of their skin is almost completely smooth, and you would assume that this Dragonborn is female, as they're a lot smaller and a lot more lithe than the other 2.
Okay. Okay, so when you try to get Orrin's attention, he is like mid-conversation with the blue female one.
Okay. So I try and just wave.
Yeah. Yes. What? What do you need?
Just.
And I turn back to her and like do my best to listen to what she's saying, but also communicate with you. Yes. What is it you hear in your mind?
I just, I know you're really excited about all of this, but maybe, I just think that we should have a little group chat later on, if it's not too big of a trouble for you.
Of course. That would be prudent.
Yes, we have a big day tomorrow. No matter what happens.
Well, can I join? I think you consider yourself a scholar, yes?
Yes. I did much studying at. Orrin remembers what it's called.
The Manu Academy.
At the Manu Academy up in Mulathisu.
Oh, wow. You practice at an academy. That is amazing. I mean, you all seem like such interesting individuals. I think we should... Am I allowed? Can I partake in this conversation?
Oh, well, I would have spoken to
in his head?
in my mind.
Okay. So she's just like... I'm sorry. You said you were a scholar. What is going on?
Sorry, but ever since I got here, I've been very excited about the imminent event, so I'm a bit distracted. I apologize.
Aren't we all? I mean, isn't it amazing? Our ancestors may be returning, and that is just so rare.
Truly.
You hear about them in fairy tales, and I could have swear I've seen one flying over the Badlands.
Have you? Ooh.
Well, I was young. Who's to say it wasn't a product of a child's imagination?
Yes. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't also prone to such fantasies and hopes that I would see one.
It is a beautiful thing to dream, isn't it?
Certainly.
Yeah. I hope you enjoy your time here. I'm going to take care of the rest. I need to dispense plates and just do my part as, part of the commune here.
Of course. Thank you for your company.
I hope we can share it once again.
Oh, also, just a note. One thing I was wondering, do any of the other Dragonborn there have tails?
You see that only the green one does.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thank you.
Yes.
I find Deverell and kind of like I get way too close and just creep up behind him and I'm like, can I talk to you for a second?
Yes, I was just getting finished up. How can I help you?
I just have a question. Just one.
Well, now, do we need to leave? Is this something we can talk about in front of everyone?
No, I would rather not.
Well, then let's take a stroll under the night sky.
Okay.
Right? He gets up and he kind of like pushes his plate and dispenses to everyone else, and you guys walk off a little deeper into the grip next to like the pools as they reflect the night sky as the stars kind of shimmer at the bottom of the pond. So, what is it?
I guess I'm having a bit of a hard time understanding exactly what you're all about. Where I'm from, my faith was all about the aspect of killing and growing stronger. The more you killed, the more strength you sapped from others. That was how we grew. That was how we were to appease our god.
That seems quite, not fun, at least to say. As far as our practices, I mean, we merely share the word of the souls, who is the word of the speaker, who is the word of Tuhanu. Sometimes it's an evacuation, sometimes we are sent to help other areas, just as, you've seen the Vice Guardians in Orrin. They're trying to help. And we would if we saw any approach or any possibility that this, that Orrin would live.
So it's not the destruction the dragons bring that you're hailing. It's the growth.
It's their return. I've heard so many stories from Blacksoul Pond that dragons used to reign the skies of Elbrun. They used to fly everywhere out and about. They used to join grand cities. If you get high enough on one of these peaks on a clear day, you can see the heaven spire off to the east. That is a monument, a testament to how advanced and just powerful these individuals were. to create some type of tower that can reach into the celestial sky. I only hope one day to visit it myself.
It's just the grandness of these beings.
And the fact that they can have their home back. Ever since they left, all this world has seen is turmoil, the sundering, the age of nightmares, the splitting of its own earth, wild magic, and dead zones all across. This place is in chaos, and I know you can see it. We just want to see order restored.
Okay, I think I know where you're coming from.
Is that all you wanted to talk to me about?
I'm just trying to gauge what you really think. Ever since I came here, I've been having a lot of trouble figuring anything out.
Well, I can see how I'm sure a new and unnerving area could treat you. So, if we can help you specifically, that I think is also one of the messages that Tuhanu speaks.
Perhaps. I guess I'll just have to see.
And that we will. So, shall we spend the rest of the night here? Should we take a journey out into the Badlands? This place is beautiful at night.
Is this water like drinkable? Is it gross?
You can try.
I kind of get down and put my hands in it. Sort of do like one of these.
The real doesn't stop you.
Okay, I take my mask off and I start like washing my face.
And when it gets in your mouth, it definitely tastes like muddy and soily, but you have no adverse reaction, and you are certainly a lot cleaner than you were before.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to show me around, that's fine.
And, well, take your time to tell your friends. I'm sure we'll be back. I don't want to venture too far out.
Fair enough.
All right. Now you're going to return to the party, or you guys just going to go?
I'm fine. We'll just go. I don't think we'll be gone too long. It'll be like concerning.
Okay, and you guys just go and kind of experience the Badlands at night. And he takes you up to the top of the shortest finger, and you guys look out across the land. And like, even though it's full of what you assume are zombies, and like every once in a while you'll see strange creatures and like the heads with wings flying about, but as they circle around the moon as it shines, there's a certain almost macabre beauty to it all. And for a while, the Badlands don't feel as dangerous under the comfort of Anam's grip. And you all return. Is there anything you guys wanted to do while you were waiting for Narissa?
Are there any tieflings at this party? Or, I guess, commune? Party.
Let's see. Are there any tieflings? There is one tiefling. He's male. You see him and he's just in the same white robes. His skin is kind of that like obvious like fiendish red color, and as it goes up he has just small horns that swing out the back and are tipped in black. And he's just kind of doing his thing, conversing with everyone.
I see him and then just move on. Not who I'm looking for.
Fair enough. And as Narissa returns, Devereaux's like, well, we have no extra tents or anything, but feel free to sleep in the center of the commune. As we clean up the wooden slabs, you will have space, and we do have many of our own keeping watch at night, so get comfortable.
Great.
We appreciate it.
Of course, and we'll leave at first light. Yes?
Oh, before you go to bed, in all of the excitement, I forgot to ask earlier, but you wouldn't happen to have in your commune have met or are currently hosting a woman named Kanira?
Kanira? That doesn't sound familiar.
Oh, it's an old family friend. I've quite lost touch, and I was hoping to find her. There's a lot more variety of company around here, so I figured it'd be a better chance to check here.
Oh, I'm sorry that no one was here for you, but...
Oh, it's quite all right. I've quite enjoyed my time here regardless.
That is good news. Well, you all sleep well. I will find you in the morning.
You as well.
All right. Are you guys trying to do anything before you go to sleep? Are you guys trying to take watches yourselves, knowing that it is not necessary?
No, not gonna take a watch, but I will take my hair out.
Oh.
Gonna brush it out.
I'm like, do you put it up for any specific reason? Does it mean something?
No, not really. I just when it, it's long, so when it wind's blowing or when we're in a fight, I don't want it to get in my mouth or my eyes, so I tie it back. But it's pretty, so it needs to breathe.
And it is pretty. You see like this really deep indigo color that's like, his hair is almost black, but whenever it shines in the light, you do see that soft blue, and it drapes down to what, like your waist almost, maybe past it.
Yeah, just a little bit past his chest in the front, but then in the back it goes down to about his waist.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely have no sense of like propriety. I just grab some and like hold it up and look at it.
Just
Yeah, I just grab your hair.
It's soft, a little dirty. Do you like it?
It's a good length. You could do a lot with it. You could braid it. You could put it up. You could...
Usually I do have it in a braid. Behind me. Just one big one though. Maybe you could braid it for me tomorrow.
Sure, I can do something from where I'm from.
I'd like that.
All right. Anything else?
All right, lads and lass.
Ladies and
So-
gentlemen.
I'm wondering, our plan for tomorrow. We're gonna show up with an entourage of messengers of Tuanul with medical supplies, food, and water.
Right.
We're gonna tell them of the oncoming danger and try and convince them that it's best if they leave and evacuate.
Right.
Yes.
I'm wondering though, if there is about 20 of them. Now listen, I'm only throwing this out. I'm not suggesting that we in fact do this. I'm just getting some opinions.
Yeah.
If it turns out that there is about 20 Raskavans that show up, Orrin is a walled off city. It's got walls and a gate.
Right.
I mean, do you think it is possible that we could successfully defend them off with the medical supplies, the clerics and the mages that are being provided by the messengers of Tuanul, us, and maybe a handful of city guards? I mean, if we've got anywhere between 10 and 15, sure, we're outnumbered, but we're behind city walls. We have vantage points. We have high ground.
I had given this some thought. If say you and I stood atop the walls and fired upon them from a distance, that would be greatly advantageous.
I can use a bow as well, if you
Yes.
need me to.
Yes. Though any such strategy is predicated on whether or not they let us into the walls. After our last encounter, it was made abundantly clear that we're not exactly welcome in Orrin. And furthermore, we will be coming with...
They might change their mind if they see 20 Raskavan running up on them.
That is true. And I hope
Also,
that turns out to be the case.
You and the silver-tongued bastard over here seem to think that you're pretty spiffy with your words. Maybe you could convince them if I promise to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
I think that could be arranged. It just like pans over to Kane, just has the aesthetic wind, his long hair.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I do think that hopefully we could convince them for the time being, while this attack is occurring, to at least get people who are unable to fight to leave. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Great.
But
All right.
But I think that in alignment with the Fathers of Tuanul, that we should try and get them out either way. There's an addition to the Raskavan, whatever is
lies below.
yes, whatever lies below, whatever is currently happening with that dust cloud.
Just
Nothing.
a lot of things.
Nothing good is going to happen.
An attack on all fronts. Top, bottom, frontal. Who knows? But also, something I was going to say to you about your wall plan. They have trebuchet. Maybe they'll bring those, maybe they won't.
They were using it to store food. I don't know if they even know how to use this thing.
Sure, but
If they did that, it would take them a lot longer.
I think underestimating them is not the best idea. They may be using them for food, but they can just take all of it out. If they really intended to breach the wall, I think that's their best bet.
Sure enough.
What is... Would Ersid know the range of a trebuchet?
I don't think so.
It's pretty big, I think.
You can roll at disadvantage, but that doesn't seem like anything you'd be familiar with.
Okay,
It would be
would I at least know?
Apologies.
It's okay. Maybe it's a stupid question. It's longer than a longbow's range.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay. With that being said, I won't roll anything then.
Okay.
In the case that they do bring trebuchets, trebuchets are at the end of the day machines that are operated by men or women, and those people can die. So I'm pretty good at sneaking and flanking. So, there's options, but I understand the concern.
Yes, certainly. Perhaps, and would it be prudent to see if we couldn't spot them before they arrived? See if they bothered to bring the trebuchet, what their forces were. Now,
I'm
of course-
sure we would see them. There's not much land to hide behind.
Yes, if we see the trebuchet, we could attempt to flank them, attempt to pick them off from the side, hinder them at least before they arrive.
Sure.
Are there any animals used for riding or anything?
That the Raskavan have?
No, that the Orrin or the Tulno have.
No.
No. Okay.
Outside of Marco's mules, you haven't seen anything.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we have somewhat of a plan.
All right.
Yeah.
Well.
Somewhat.
It's only so much you can really plan.
You're right.
And as the night comes to a close, you all feel exceptionally well rested, and you all wake up to the soft light of the Dreamer's flame as it begins to set itself aflame. A couple of the messengers of Tulnul are all scrambling around and pulling together all sorts of sacks and bags full with rations and supplies that you guys should be able to take to Orrin. And the smell of sulfur is thick in the air as Deverell approaches you. Well, it looks like we're in for quite the day.
Indeed.
Can you smell anything beneath that mask?
Not much, honestly.
Lucky you.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Well, are we off?
I suppose so.
All right. And besides the four of you and besides Deverell, there are about, we'll say, 10 other messengers of Tuhanul.
So there's 15 total.
Yes.
Okay.
How many of them look like clerics or fighters of some sort?
None of them look like fighters.
Okay.
They all look the same.
Okay.
There's no significant motive of rank or anything. They're all in the exact same white robes. The only difference you've seen in this commune is Blacksoul Panh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So no visible indicators as to which ones were the clerics they were alerting to earlier?
No, not at all. And as you guys leave, Blacksoul Panh catches up to you. So, you all travel safely. May the blessings of Tuhanul be upon you. And remember, if it is answers that you seek, be sure to delve into the mines. Our scouts have not returned. Please do keep an eye out for them.
Of course.
Sure.
And thank you. And he bows at his hips deeply.
And she does a slight nod and sends you off out of Anam's grip.
On the way, I do ask to see which one of the followers are clerics and such.
And they speak out and they're like, well, we all know basic magic, basic healing, but none of us are all quite too adept. We can all spread the word of healing as well as purify some water.
That's excellent. That will be most valuable. I'm certain of it. Thank you.
I'm sure. No problem.
But I will not hold it against you if you were to make yourself scarce if fighting were to start.
Rest assured, we are here to help Orrin. We all volunteered for this, so we will see it through.
Excellent. That is good to hear.
Right before we leave, I will do Kane's hair, like I said I did.
What are you doing to Kane's hair?
I think she's really missing doing her own hair every day, so she just does the thing that she normally does. It's like the high ponytail with the two loops pulled out.
Okay.
And then she plucks a feather and ties it in.
Oh, nice. It goes with my earrings.
Nice. What color? Is it purple, yellow, or what
The
color?
feathers are a tropical kind of...
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, they're yellow and blue.
Okay, so you have this yellow blue feather sticking out of this high ponytail as it drapes just near your shoulders.
Cool.
Nice.
That's kind of cool. All black on black, and then
Yeah, and then
a colorful.
Very colorful.
Yeah, exactly. It
This-
clashes a little.
This is a warrior's hairstyle. It will bring you luck in battle.
Well, thank you. Suppose I will need it today.
We might.
And you venture off to the west, heading towards Orrin, where you see the sulfuric cloud has not made any change in size or in density. As you get closer, you can sort of make out what seems to be the walls of Orrin's deep within. You can surmise that Orrin's about 6 miles out, And that is when you hit the wall of sulfur, and the stench hits you like crazy. I'm going to need you all to make a con save.
Ugh.
So there's no way around this cloud is surrounding Orrin.
I mean, there's no way to get to Orrin without going through the cloud, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
What was everyone's saves? Let's start with Kane. Oh, I got yours, though.
Bloody 6.
Ooh,
10.
okay.
16.
Ersid,
15.
let me roll for these folks.
It's not poisonous, is it?
Let's see.
As you breathe in the stench, you already see a couple of the messengers just folding over, completely vomiting. It is too strong. For the next while, you are effectively poisoned.
Oh, wow.
Poisoned condition. You are not taking damage or anything.
Okay.
And that would be Kane. That would be Orrin. What was yours again, Ersid?
15.
15. Okay, you and Narissa are fine.
What is the poison condition again? Sorry.
I believe you have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Okay.
Jeez, that's a pain.
It's kind of rough.
Yeah, attack rolls and ability checks. Fuck me.
And Devereaux comes and like he's trying to wipe off some of the vomit from his face. Oh, we really? I guess we're here, right?
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
you said you were gonna follow through.
Well, there's no stopping now. I've already vomited.
If they haven't left because of the smell, then I don't know what they're doing.
Who's to say they can leave? Well, that's carry on.
Oh, God.
Can we double time?
That's fine. Yeah. You guys wanting to move at a fast pace?
Sure.
Okay, and you guys start to press on, just hustling as hard as you can through this sulfuric cloud. And as you get closer and closer to Orrin, more roots and spiny vines are making themselves known as they reach up out of the ground, snagging your feet and coiling around your like legs and calves. As its foliage is starting to get very high, you step past these branches and brambles into mushy fungus as it squelches just under your feet. The closer you get to Orrin, the thicker it seems.
The fuck?
So even if you are moving at fast pace, you are moving at a standard pace because of the difficult terrain.
Oh my fucking
So
God.
how's our vision?
Heavily obscured. Or lightly obscured, thank you.
Lightly obscured.
Yeah, why would the bandits even come here?
Fuck. Because they're pissed.
This is, I've never, well, if this has anything to do with the firstborn, they certainly know how to make an entrance, he says as he covers his mouth.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, don't we love
Everyone's
this
got like his jacket
rebirth?
up as best he can.
And finally, you guys make it to the walls of Orrin, where there are two guards standing watch, wrapped in as much cloth as they possibly can. You can sort of see where their heads peek out from above their nose. And as you get closer, they don't even notice you, obscured by the yellow and putrid air. You get closer and closer until one of them, hail, son. And they both pull their spears out.
Oh, whoa. Relax.
We mean no harm. We mean no harm.
There's harm enough here. What are you all doing here?
Well, we've come back to help, like we said we would. Deal with the Raskavan.
I remember you. And you had a shabby old beard on last time. Now I see your true face.
Oh yeah, they're racist here.
So, a ragtag group of cultists, a mage covered in disgusting tattoos, a dragonborn, enough said there. Why would we need your help?
Are you unaware of what the fuck you're standing in?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a problem of Orrin. We've already dealt with enough since you've been here, and things have only gotten worse.
And they're going to keep getting worse unless you accept some help.
That's right.
So we're here to help. I know you don't think much of my kind, or tattooed people.
I know you're racist against dragonborns and people with tattoos.
But we came to assure you that, as she says, this will only get worse. We want to help. We want to get you out of here before something terrible happens.
Roll persuasion, and I won't give you disadvantage.
Excellent. Here's my die. Okay, 15.
15. We will escort you in. That being said, we will have to have you speak to Mayor Garrison Moore. If he deems you all worthy of protecting our town, then we will accept your help. But if we must ask you to leave, please accept our word and stop us from using force.
Agreed. Much obliged. Thank you.
Wait here. And one of the guards stays and he holds his spear out as balanced as he can to sort of take up as much space in front of the gates as one of them slips by through a divot in the wall, so that way they don't have to open the whole gate. And time passes until finally he returns. We'll open the gates. And as they do, it's almost as if even more of this fog bellows out from the town square as the gate opens. And standing there is a shorter man. His hair is long as it's slicked back, black with gray patches, and a very thick beard. His skin is a soft, like tannish brown color, and he's covered in as many robes as he can, but he leaves his face free, knowing that he's going to approach some sort of community. Oh, Lord, out here. You all are those who've come to help.
We have.
And as I have been updated on the situation, you helped Marco bring water to our people.
We did.
Well, let's get out of this air. And I suggest we speak in Marco's.
Okay. I
Follow
don't
me.
think all of these people are going to fit in Marco's, though.
I'll stand outside.
With the amenities our village is able to provide, I apologize, but some of you will have to
Wait out.
suffer here in this fog. I hope you understand. And Devril speaks up. Well, that's not exactly what I would like to do, but if you could maybe spare some rags to cover us and maybe us not dirty our robes any longer, that'd be appreciated. And Mayor Moore simply nods, and he beckons you all to follow him to the end of the town square, and over to Marco's. And he stops at the statue in the middle of town, and he kneels and says a small prayer. As we go through this time, I hope that the Yotnar, specifically you, that of Obadai, will protect us with your strength. The stone we pull from the land is the stone you have blessed us with, and may that stone protect us. He stands up and pulls you further and further until you finally make it to Marco's. He stops you. Let me speak to him first.
By all means.
He goes in, and some time passes, and finally Marco appears at the door. Well, I could have sworn you were all dead.
Not yet.
Well, not sure if that's for better or worse.
Probably for better,
Probably.
I would say. For you.
You can convince me of that as time goes on. Feel free to come in. And his eyes look even more sunken in than normal. He struggles to make eye contact with all of you. His head hangs down as he goes inside. You follow in, and Deverell, I'll wait out here. And you see at the small table in the kitchen, as Marco closes the door, you can only see Garrison Moore, Justine, and Joshua nowhere to be found. So, you bring cultists into our humble town,
We do.
covered in fog and strange growth.
Well, these cultists also bring food and water and medical attention and medical abilities. We don't mean any harm. On top of the fog cloud, the Raskavan have not exactly forgotten the offense, and we have reason to believe that they are preparing to make an offense on Orrin themselves.
First off, I want you all to make more constitution checks.
Are still inside?
Well, that's why you guys are making this.
Okay.
Because the terrain has changed and time has passed.
Okay.
Fuck you.
12.
6.
20.
Ersid?
18.
Kane, even
So
inside
stinky.
Marco's home, you are just, it's almost as if this is the only thing you can smell. It's blinding you in just the scent of yellow as your eyes begin to water and your body feels frail.
It's stuck in his nostrils. There's no
Can't
escape.
get it out.
The rest of you are doing fine. If any of you were poisoned before, you are not any longer. We know that you do not bring any violence on our town. Marco here, and he nods at Marco, speaks highly of you all, or did upon our first meeting. I was hoping to meet you all much earlier in time, for as you can see, we are dealing with a lot now. The water is sullied. The dirt grows strange plants that have never been here before. And we're all stuck inside as this fog cloud makes its way into our bellies. Some have already perished simply from the environment.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Marco,
Yes.
where's your lady?
She is in her room. Our room. Let's keep it that way. She does not need to be here for this.
No, that's alright. I just hope they're alright.
And he just kind of gulps and stays silent.
No.
We hope before any more life is lost or any more discomfort comes, just straight to the point. We come to urge you to, and I know what we must be asking, to evacuate Orrin. Were the Raskavan not enough? This poisonous cloud is suffocating your people. We only wish to save you against now 2 threats.
Raskavan and whatever this is.
Yes.
And whatever comes next.
We don't know what that is. But we know that they are after something Not the Raskavan, but whatever it is that is plaguing us.
You believe it to have a mind, desires of its own?
Something does. Something is... And Marco actually leaves the room. Young Joshua is missing.
Did you say missing?
Yeah. Yes. Amongst the other two children that reside here. Why there's still children, I have no idea. Or if it's some sort of magic that is coaxing them out of their homes, I can't begin to understand where this is starting.
All the children are gone.
To be fair, there's not many here.
Right.
And this all
When did
started.
Joshua and the other two, though.
Yes.
This all started when the fog came.
This all started the night you all left. And were pushed out of town.
Well, these cultists here seem to think that there's something under you, in your minds.
Yes, I wasn't exactly clear if it was physically under you or somewhere deep in your heads.
No, I think they mean under the ground.
Oh, physically.
Yes, that was standing on top of.
Yes. I mean, that is.
Do you have any minds?
Of course, we're a mining town. My family's pride is the Moor's Whale.
Have your miners seen anything? And is the strange plant growth worse beneath the soil? Is there something else in there that you think
It
may be
is.
causing this?
Yes. Somewhere, a few months ago, our miners were doing their jobs. And somewhere in the mine, they struck sour. It was the first time we saw any fog like this, coming and going out of the mines, but never spreading so far wide. That was when our water went and became poisonous. Every sip we take, you find us vomiting. Nothing can stay in our bellies. It started to spread to the animals, to everyone around us. It got to the point where, well, Marco here had to leave his home every 10 days to Burnwell to procure clean water. So whatever this is, it is coming from the mine.
Well, now I've got a different perspective about the whole situation. You know, I wanted to do right by Marco and you and protect you guys from Raskavans. And I didn't want you to leave your home if you didn't have to. But with this new information, it kind of sounds like there's a bigger problem here. I mean, it kind of sounds like, fuck the Raskavans. I mean, I don't even know if they'll make it through this fog. Seems like a suicide mission for them. Seems like you've got bigger problems now. Maybe evacuating would actually be the best course of action until something can be done about what's going on down below.
And we would evacuate, but with one carriage, 3 missing children, and a town full of sick, ailing, malnourished people. How easy do you think it would be for us to trek across these wasted lands?
I know it's not ideal for you. I think that the people outside in the white robes would be willing to take you in for a little while.
Yes, they are well versed in traveling across the Badlands, and each of them has the ability to purify water, and they have brought supplies with them.
Is Deverell in the room with us?
No, he's outside.
So, you think these white-robed cultists can save us?
I certainly think they're better than staying here and choking on these fumes until there's none of you left.
Well, that is something I would be willing to do. Something I'm sure Marco would be willing to do. But the rest of these people, they don't trust. After all that's happened to us, the Raskavan, the mines, some have already given up. So I cannot promise you that we won't leave. But I can promise you that I will trust in these, well, this faith that has found themselves upon us to help us escape this plague.
So
We appreciate that trust.
you're the mayor, right?
Hey, that's what they call me.
I mean, I understand that home is home. I understand it more than anyone. I'm sure me and my colleagues feel the same way, I'm sure. But don't you think that maybe they have some trust in you? They have some faith in you as their leader.
And a small smile now purses his lips. I can only hope. I think I've done good by these people. That being said, I've seen in my time many a friend turn to enemy, simply over the smallest things. Again, I can only do my best, and assure you I will, because these are my people.
You can only save people who want to be saved.
That's
Speak
true.
truth.
Quick question for the DM.
I have an answer, I hope.
Okay, so about how long did it take to get from where the fog began to the city walls?
From, like, where you guys were heading in from Anam's grip?
So I'm trying to like figure out like the radius of this fog. And knowing how long it took us to get from once we entered the fog to once we got to the city gates would be a good idea. So like I can then think about logistically how we could evacuate these people, how long it would take to even just at first get out of the fog.
Okay. Well, with the way travel works, and you guys had difficult terrain, speeding, it took you about 2 hours to get from the edge of the fog to the city, or to the village.
Jesus.
It took up roughly 5 miles of your trek.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
It's just good information to know.
Yeah.
Probably double that. We're moving with a bunch of sickly people.
Right.
Yeah.
Slow,
Okay.
through difficult terrain.
So, I will spread that word.
Yes, any who will come.
Well, I thank you. If you don't mind.
One more
Yes.
quick thing before you go. You do have watch guards on the towers, yeah?
I don't think the city has towers.
Just wall.
Yeah, just the
On the
wall. That's
wall?
why. Yeah, that's
Gee.
why they sit outside.
Oh, so it's not a wall that you can stand on.
Yeah, they don't have any like watchtowers or anything like that.
Great.
Okay.
There goes that.
Well, I just the reason I ask is because you might want to just be on the lookout. If I was a bandit, I wouldn't go out in this fog to attack a village, but you never know.
No, you never do. So, I will speak with these. What do you call them?
The followers of Tuanua.
I will speak with them. I will see how many homes will allow them in to start purifying their water and hopefully make themselves more comfortable before we leave. That being said, I make no promises.
Right.
We appreciate it all the same.
Now, between us, what do we do? Are we going to tackle this Raskavan, or are we going to see if we can stop whatever's plaguing this place in the mine?
I thought the next thing to do would be to check out the mine.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is that Marco is missing his son.
Right. I agree. I think that it is a big problem. However, there's no confirmation that the Raskavan aren't going to come, and if we are under the mine or in the mine and they arrive and they turn this place to rubble,
Do we wait for the Raskavan?
I don't know.
Well,
Give them a chance to arrive and then decide.
Given the terrain with the fog, I mean, again, I don't know what goes on in the minds of the Raskavan, but I feel like they'd be deterred or at least slowed down. I mean, I don't know how long it would take to investigate the mine. Is it in the city? Is it outside? How long do we have to travel? Maybe we should go ask Marco.
And as you say that, Marco actually walks in. I'll take you to the mines.
Great.
There's a chance that, well, if my son's there, I want to make sure we find him safe.
I had the same inclination, my friend.
And if nothing else, it sounds like the mine has something to do with all of this tomfoolery.
Right.
So maybe someone who is adept in this academic field, as I point to Orrin.
Okay, on
Might,
the screen you're pointing towards Aaron, so I wasn't sure what you were doing.
Oh, well, I'm pointing to Orrin. Maybe he would know something once he sees the mine.
I could take a look, but
Well, and he looks at you. If you know anything about this, any help would be appreciated.
only one way to find out.
Then let's go.
Cool.
All right. And he leads you guys outside, and he goes back to say his goodbyes to Justine. And he comes out in some loosely fitted leather armor and what looks to be like a pickaxe. Just shoddy, something that he would use in the mines. A small leather helmet. It's been a while since I've had to wear anything like this.
So you know how to fight?
I know how to swing a pickaxe. I know. That can hurt.
I believe it.
I hope so.
Follow me. And he sort of walks you near the edge of the cul-de-sac, which enters like these two hills that start to make a small path deeper in. Roughly 10-15 feet through this like crevice, it starts to open up and you start to see more of the Badlands, and behind Orrin is a much larger mountain, sort of almost like a dome-shaped hill reaching towards the sky, or at least from what you can see, it's going through the fog. And there's a steady path that you can see, like cartwheels and feet have all traveled. It's very well traveled towards what looks to be like an opening in this rock. And as you go in, it just gets even thicker as you can almost see the fog making its way, flowing, all the air currents pushing out of this cave. You step in and it gets cold, and along the walls, it's just covered in a strange, nasty moss. Its mix of brown and green as what looks to be mushrooms and other fungus stream away like veins deeper into the cave itself.
I grab some and kind of squish it in my hands and like sniff it and like I'll taste it.
You'll taste it?
Does it taste poisonous?
I'm gonna need you to make a con save. I'm needing everyone to make a con save. You need to make 2.
Oh my God, why would you do that?
Saves.
16 and 17 respectively.
16 and 17. Okay, Uden. No, we'll start with Kane.
17.
Uden.
12.
Okay, Ersid.
16.
And our boy. Okay. You guys are all looking and feeling pretty good. If you were poisoned by the fog, you are starting to recuperate. You feel a lot better. No one's under the poison condition.
I think we're getting used to it. His eyes are watering. But
Narissa, you can't tell if it's poisonous, but it's bitter, and it's not a delicacy whatsoever. It's nothing you would want to eat ever again. You would never recommend it. It's leaving like a really nasty like film inside of your mouth.
did you put it in your mouth? Why would you do that?
I think these are poisonous, just a guess.
And Marco looks at you and just kind of like cocks his head.
Kane does the same.
What in the 9 hells?
Yeah, she's not from around here.
Well, if you can withstand something like that, I'm glad that you are with us and not with the Raskavan. So, let's go deeper in the moor's well.
Deeper we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. And for our viewers, I'm going to do my best to do theater in mind. We're going sans map, so that way I can keep you guys entertained, because a lot of my materials are going to die. So I just want you guys to be aware of why you're not seeing a map. So you look in, and there starts to be these openings in the walls. You're in a space, the cavern, that's roughly 20 by 30 feet, give or take. It's spherical in nature, and near, you would say the north, the northeast, and the northwest are pathways that you could all take. And in these walls, where normally there would be like water dripping down, you're seeing like a soft, like sludge just dripping into pools that caress the sides of this cavern. I know. The deepest cavern is through the middle, but when we struck Sour, it was in this northeast pathway. I'm not sure where you would all exactly like to start.
I think the best place to go is where you struck Sour.
Well, follow me then. And you go, and you follow down the northeast pathway, and it's pretty wide. You can see that the walls have been excavated by man. They're no longer natural, coated in like the same sludge that drips down the walls. The fungus and the moss are sconces for torches that are no longer lit, and it's not as foggy in this place. It sits low on the ground, and it's just wafting up to you, but it's not obscuring your vision. You press closer and closer until you start to find a fork, left and right. And the right pathway looks less traveled by man. The left is easily excavated.
Well, Marco,
Go ahead.
Marco, this is all you.
It's been so long since I've been in these mines. again, I'm a merchant. I think we'll follow the pathway that has been excavated. Does that sound fine with you?
Yes.
Is there any evidence that, like, people have been in here recently?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh,
Any
wow.
tiny
I'm
child footprints.
incredibly good at that. 7.
7? You'd guess no.
Is, like, just from his studies or some such, is Orrin getting any kind of inkling as to what might be causing this? Because it's, like, the further we go, the less natural it seems. So he's...
Okay. Roll. Did you have a particular, like, color or of dragon that you studied, or did you just kind of do a broad array of all dragon knowledge?
He did a pretty broad array, just like whatever he could get his hands on.
Then we'll just go with standard history.
Though, like...
Or arcana.
Yeah, okay. They're both the same. Hey, it's not bad. That was a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. And you're trying to find out, like, what's causing this or why this would be happening?
Yeah.
In your studies, you learned about that sometimes when a dragon makes a place their home, the region around it begins to transform, and all kinds of strange happenings can come through. You can't trace it back to what type of dragon might be causing this, but you are well assured that there's most likely one living here.
I turned to everyone. I'm just like, I think that the followers of Tuanul might be onto something. This is almost certainly the effects of a dragon nearby. When they nest, the land around them bends to fit them. In this case, it might be that I just saw one on a tent a few hours ago, but my guess would be a black dragon.
So should we leave then? Because
God.
I'm
Excuse
super
me,
excited,
what?
you guys.
So, the first time I meet you all, you run in with a ghost. A fairy tale. An urban legend.
It was
Now
your
what-
ghost, to be honest. It was, to be fair, it was your ghost. Anyway, sorry, continue.
You are correct. But I've never seen it. And now, there's a dragon living in our minds. Are you quite sure?
I'd take his word for it.
Well, either
As sure
way,
as I can be. Never seen a dragon in...
a beast ate the sun. Ate the sun.
I think she said S-U-N, son.
Yes.
She did.
Okay.
Not your son.
Yeah, the beast ate your son.
We need to go.
Jump to that.
No, I understand.
either we're
I don't think it's a
totally insane or we're very special people.
Well,
I think both.
there's some sort of miracle following you, that's for sure. Well, let's go deeper, and if we find ourselves face to face with a dragon, that'll be a story to tell my son when we make it back.
Absolutely.
I mean, Marco, is there anywhere in your memory of this mine that would even be big enough for a dragon?
Well, we do know that this is a deep series of caverns here in Mooreswell. As time's progressed, we've gotten lower and lower, and we've found streams and underwater caverns, things like that here. The lower you go, the more spacious it becomes. And there were spaces here that existed before we did. So, maybe there.
So, do you think that is through the deeper center?
Yes. So if you want to investigate the specific area that we went sour, we can. There may be something there, but if we'd like to change track,
I will say that as excited as I am at the prospect of seeing a dragon of any age, and one of the apparent power to bend this much of the region to its liking, it will be dangerous. It would perhaps be prudent. We have the evidence we need. It would perhaps be prudent to not delve too much deeper and warn the inhabitants of Orrin.
So,
I mean, that sounds fair. I didn't know what else we'd fucking do down here.
I don't know about you, but I do not feel confident in my ability. I feel more confident in my ability to face all the Raskavan myself than I do to defeat a dragon.
Yes, I don't think that where we are now, that all 5 of us could deal with a dragon. But if your son is somewhere, maybe not too far in here. Hopefully not too far.
Did your son give any inclination of why he was leaving before he did, or was he just gone one day? Any odd behavior?
No. There was simply screams in the night. Children, I woke up and the door was open, hanging in the wind. And I do remember that it sounded like there were things in my home. The sound of rattling just about. Seeing he must have been kidnapped.
I see.
I assumed it was the bandits. But when the fog showed, I thought it might be something more.
I see.
Oh, and this happened the night that we left,
Yes.
right? So that makes me think that it was not the bandits, considering that we disposed of them.
They couldn't have made it back to Orrin that quickly.
I mean, there are many bandits. Who's to say they were the only ones?
Fair.
Sure, but this seems easier to believe that it has something to do with the fog.
And that's why I think we're here. So, are you sure? I think I would like to keep exploring, but I'm not sure I'd feel comfortable in these caverns without your aid.
Even if it was a dragon, even if there's a dragon, it would have to be small to have fit into your home, to have taken your child. Or whatever it was.
You think the dragon took my child?
I thought that's what you were insinuating.
There was something in my home. Something in numbers, but as far as I know, dragons are not.
Shite.
I see.
There's it.
Shite what, mate?
Did he freeze? There's.
I just remembered something. I forgot. And I look at Orrin's face.
I go into your mind with psionic mind. Yes.
If it's not a dragon, who do we know that is the size of a human that loves dragons?
Me?
The messengers? No, the messengers of Tuanul.
Excuse me.
No, I'm saying this in my mind.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting.
Yeah,
like continuing just the psionic conversation. You think they took him?
I don't know. They seem pretty inclined to ensure that dragons come back. I don't know what it takes to bring a dragon back, but
I would hazard that it doesn't involve kidnapping children. Every story I've read about dragons suggests that they're quite capable of doing whatever they want themselves.
sure. But it does sound a little suspicious to me, is all I'm saying.
I'd still be quicker to blame the Raskavan than the Tuanu.
And as you guys are discussing and deliberating, Ersid, you hear the distinct sound of claws squishing through the mossy fungal floor, and up ahead
My feet like Scooby-Doo.
you hear the sound of a rattling, a very familiar sound.
What's those creatures that we saw?
Wait, it's those little guys.
Yeah.
Can I make out? Can I see? Or is it just a sound?
And as you look down the cavern, you do see 4 shambling little bodies making their way towards you, all rattling.
Hey, you little guys, little lads.
Do we all hear them rattling now?
I guess he says, yes, you do. And I guess he's looking down. Marco brandishes his pickaxe. What are these things?
Hold on, hold your horses. I've met these guys before. We're sort of pals. Hey, do you guys live here?
And they get closer. And as they do, they start to sort of bunch up in formation as 2 of them stand in front while 2 stand behind. Yes, we live here. They are like no taller than 3 feet tall.
Okay. And they walk on 2 legs?
Yes, at least from what you can surmise. You don't see 4 feet.
Okay. Oh, you live here. So have you seen any other living creatures coming through these parts?
Any other creatures?
Besides your type? Which is a beautiful type, might I add.
Plenty. Now,
You said plant?
yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
Will you come with us? Or will we take you?
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm like, I kind of just say in like the lowest voice, I think they stole the children.
Yeah.
Just a guess.
And I just kind of softly say to Marco, just like, is that the rattling you heard?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody.
And I say,
And they start to slink closer, and
Pull my glaive out and I stand in front of everybody else.
and you guys see the
whoa.
2 in the back just disappear like into the walls almost.
Everybody, please.
all right,
Take it down one notch.
Wait, everyone stop. And then I say in Elvish,
I'm just being
If
ready
they-
for something to happen. I'm like watching.
okay. So I say in Elvish, which I know that Kane and I guess
Orrin.
Orrin speaks.
Yeah.
If we want to find the boy and we think these are the suspects, maybe we would play this not to kill them.
Go willingly for the time being.
Right.
And they step closer.
I communicate that to Narissa just in her mind, just with a question mark.
And as they come closer, they start to spread their arms out, claws reaching in their small black reptilian hands.
Okay,
Will
hold
you
on then.
come? Or shall
Fine.
we take you?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, we will
no,
come.
we'll-
We'll come.
we'll
I
come.
put a hand on Narissa's shoulder just to try and get her to lower the glaive.
And they put their hands back into their clothes. Then you will follow closely. And
Right behind you.
Oh my god, this is such a bad idea.
And behind you, you see coming out of like holes in the wall that were covered by moss are the other 2 strange creatures. And they have these little spears, and they're just kind of like poking you and telling you to go forward.
Okay.
I hiss back.
And they like poke you in the leg. Not enough to hurt you, but they're not. Roll intimidation.
Yeah, 7.
They just keep poking you. Both of them focus their spears on you. No, funny. No, he's. Go.
We're going, I guess.
All right. And just like as we're going, I say, just like starting with Airsaid, but just like into everyone's minds, just like, okay, at what point do we turn on them? Wherever they're taking us is probably not good.
And you guys are being led further deeper down this cavern, and as you are, the moss starts to kind of dissipate, and you are found with a small little cavern in the side of one of these walls that it looks like some humanoid creatures could fit through if they hunched, and one of them points, "Go," and you can finish your conversation.
So I think that we should take a course of action depending on if we find any information about the boy, or if it's very apparent that they're gonna get violent,
Yeah. Or if we see a dragon.
Right.
or if we see a dragon,
If we see a fucking dragon.
or if we
We're
hear
fucked.
a dragon, if we do anything and we think that,
And I'm just kind of bouncing this amidst just like.
And are you
in
guys
my
going
mind.
through this little hole?
Yeah, he's short. He's fine.
Okay. So you guys go through the little hole, and as you guys are having this conversation, you see a great, like, just huge open catacomb in this mine. As you look down, there's more sludge that's falling 30, 40 feet through these zigzagging walkways that were obviously not made by human hands. And you look towards the bottom, and there is a soft, glowing, almost green light in blue, like bioluminescent fungi reaching up to the top where you can see. And you're not exactly sure, but it looks like there may be bodies down there.
Do any of
Alright.
them look new, like children?
Roll investigation at disadvantage.
Oh, I'm already so bad at it.
It's just low. It's deep.
While she's looking at that, do I see any more of the little
Roll
rattly fellas?
perception
Yeah,
or
yeah.
investigation.
That's
Can
a
I-
whole
can I-
3.
Good
Make a
job. You
check.
can't tell. Go
I'm-
ahead and make a check.
White knuckling my glaives so hard.
Oh.
Yeah, I just was gonna
Yeah,
look
3.
with
I got
Orrin
nothing.
to give a head count of these little creatures.
You got a 3.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Ersid? Are you? You can give him advantage if you're helping Urin.
Sure.
Okay.
That's fine.
Not much better.
You guys are not seeing any. It goes deeper, like you can see like where it's glowing, but it's still too dark to make out anything specific. So some of those bodies could be some of these creatures, some of those bodies could be children, some of those bodies could have been here forever. You cannot tell.
Okay, well, I say in Elvish. Well, this is starting to look like a dragon's lair, no?
Do we? And
I couldn't tell you what a dragon's lair looks like.
I look at the little dragon little creatures.
Are we there? Is this it?
You will go down, walk the paths, or fall,
What's at the end of the path?
where you will be watched. Your prison.
I'm
Why
sorry.
would we go to prison, guys?
One more time. Did you say my prison?
Unless you would rather it be your grave.
Neither.
I say this into everyone's mind, just like, all right, so I don't have you losing patience because I'm not liking the look of this either.
I think we're gonna have to get the fuck out of here and regroup and replan how we assess this.
I think that would be prudent, and I communicate that to everyone else via psionic mind.
Real quick, can you give me a description of the area that we're in again?
Yes, so these are they're stacked walkways, and about every 20 to 30 feet, you'll find a new walkway going to a new path inside of this cavern. They keep disappearing into other walls, the parallel to them, and you see about about 4 sets of these walkways before you hit the bottom.
Okay. Easy to fall off.
These walkways themselves are about 15 to 20 feet wide, depending on where they are. No railings, no nothing.
Okay.
What? There's switchbacks.
No, they're like, so if you have one walkway, like think of like a road, going into a tunnel, and then somewhere throughout that tunnel, it goes lower, and then there's another road zigzagging under it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
I nudge Orrin.
I go into your mind.
Are we fighting? Are we running? Or do we have much of a choice?
I think we're leaving either way. But let me ask one question before we go. And I say into the mind of one of the little guys, it's like, what is the name of your dragon?
And he looks taken aback. And he doesn't respond to you, man. He says, "Speak out loud. Ah, master, we'll see you. You must stay."
Very well, I say out loud. In Draconic to him, just like, very well. But first, I should like to know the name of to whom we will have an audience.
We speak no names. We simply follow.
And I say, just like in psionic mind to everyone, just like, okay, be ready. I don't think that ads can be arranged. I think we're going to need to have a little more information before we start, before we can meet with them.
Yeah, maybe we can take a rain check. Yeah.
Yes, we'll certainly be back.
Okay.
Down you walk, or down you fall.
I you see her stance up. She kind of gets in front of you.
I don't think we should fucking fight in here.
There's no fighting that needs to be done, and I'd start moving to leave.
And the 2 that are behind you guys start to close in around the walkway.
I just confirm one last time in psionic mind to everyone. It's like, do we want to leave? Do we want to fight? What do we want to do? And I'm just. Let's put it to a vote. I say, just like in everyone's minds.
Let's make escape the number 1 priority, but we cut down anyone who's in our way and keep moving.
Marco speaks up. What is happening? What are we doing? As he begins to raise his pickaxe.
I look directly at him.
I include him in the
Okay.
vote.
Run. All of you run. I'll hold it off. Go. I'll come last.
Right. And
I charge.
I take form of dread.
Yeah, and I rage.
And we will pick this up next time on the next exciting episode of Under the Dreamer's Flame. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm very excited to see how our party gets out of this fiasco. Please remember to donate, tell your friends to watch, please follow, and we'll see you next Saturday. Have a good day.
Can I say a few things?
Yes, we have a message from Stone before you guys log off.
Hey everybody! I think tonight's a good night to raid. I think we want to raid somebody playing Elden Ring. I do know that we got a whole bunch of fucking nerds here. He's playing Elden Ring, and he's also doing a charity stream for Ukraine. And I think he'd be a great vehicle for you guys to contribute. If you could stick around and participate in the raid, just say hi. That would mean a lot.
Okay, awesome. We'll get their handle in chat so that way you guys have it, and we'll meet you over there on their page. Until next time, you guys. Bye-bye.